Jasper residents can make their way back to town as of Friday. For most, this will be their first look at the conditions of their homes, businesses, and lost property.
The north end of town is more likely to be habitable sooner, but you also can't count on that. As in, no one has been inside your house yet. There could be smoke damage, there could be water damage, depending if you left windows open or what the status of the property was when you left.
We understand our residents' concern, as I said earlier, for time and space to confront the reality and start the difficult process to accommodate a new norm.
The return home doesn't mean all residents will actually be able to spend the night. Returning residents are being told to prepare to be as self-sufficient as possible. Water, power, and fuel services to damaged areas are still spotty. Friday's return represents the beginning for most to survey the extent of damage and plan their next steps. Justin Melnyk is one of those residents. He and his family evacuated to BC when the fire first broke out. Thanks for coming on, Justin.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So as I was just saying, it's just been announced all residents will be allowed back to Jasper as of Friday at 7 a.m. How do you feel hearing that sort of news, and do you plan to go back as soon as you can?
It's exciting that we have a timeline on when we can get back in there for some people, assess the damage and see what the state of everyone's homes or businesses are in. Personally, for me, with some young children in my family, we are going to hold off just being self-sufficient, and wouldn't be in the cards for us without having power or potentially gas or heat in the house. So we're going to wait until our confirmation of that, just knowing where our house is situated and in the town. It's quite a lot of extensive damage, so we're waiting to see what that looks like going forward.
Yeah, as you say, the conditions are apparently still quite primitive. Water, power, fuel, it's all a bit questionable. What had they told you about what you could face when you do make it back to Jasper?
Well, we know, like, the municipality and the first responders have done a great job in communicating with Parks Canada as well. So the municipality of Jasper has a map with quite detailed photos that is available. So we're able to see what properties are damaged, what properties are not damaged, and then go from there. And see, yeah, I don't know if certain areas have power or not. We haven't been made aware of that. We do have some people that you do know. Jasper is a large volunteer fire department, small volunteer fire department that is doing a big job. So they just kind of wait and see what information you can get from some people that way too.
So you live on the hard-hit west side of town, but I understand your home is still standing. What do you know about the condition of where you live?
Yeah, we're fortunate. Our house is still standing. My parents lost their house, which wasn't far away. So we know our house is still standing. We haven't been in it. Don't know if there's smoke damage, water damage, anything like that. What the state of the refrigerators are, probably not great inside. So we're waiting. Just personally, without having all the services back, I don't think it's a great situation for a young family to be there. But I totally understand if residents also want to get back and see the state, or maybe some people are able to kind of choose their own adventure and be part of that first group back to Jasper. I can appreciate that side of it too, and people just want to get back and see what they're facing. So
yeah,
I wouldn't judge anyone that wants to go back. I think if I was in a different situation, I might, or if I was by myself, I would probably do it. But yeah.
No, I totally understand. I mean, just kind of describe for our audience, what have the last 3 legs been like for you? I imagine it's been incredibly difficult uprooting your life like that. Tell the viewers what you've been through.
Yeah, so on the night that the evacuation happened, the alert went out not long after I got home from work, so I just went and filled up both vehicles quickly. My wife then had to go to the wastewater plant where she is an employee. And on her way back, she ended up going up to Patricia Lake Bungalows and grabbing 2 of our friends' children, as one of the partners was the resort operations manager. So she was trying to get all the guests out of the resort. So we threw 4 kids in one minivan, and I took our pets in the other vehicle, and we made our way out of town. It didn't go that quickly once the evacuation order went out, as there's a lot of people in Jasper, but it wasn't unruly or anything. Everyone was patient, and made our way down the highway to BC. So we got to Valemount. It was 3 or 4 in the morning, slept for a few hours, and then drove on to Kelowna. And that family that we grabbed their kids, we met up with them the dad on the highway, and then the mom met us in Valemont. And then we've kind of been the group of 4 of us, and the 4 kids have traveled around and found a spot here in Blind Bay, BC. The community's been really welcoming, and a few other Jasper residents have landed here as well. They went through it a year ago, so they kind of understand, or they definitely understand what we're going through. And the community's been great in helping find bikes for the kids and just helping keep everyone entertained. And yeah, we're very fortunate to land where we did, but still an interesting dynamic for sure.
I just want to tell our audience you're seeing pictures there on the screen, some photos of Justin's kids and another family's kids who were, as he's describing to us, they're evacuated to BC. At least they found some bikes for them. You know, you're the general manager as well of the Jasper Brewing Company. I expect it will take a while to get that business, you know, ramping it up, getting it back in business, given all that your community has faced and all the trauma. Are you thinking about business right now? Where do you go from here when it comes to the Jasper Brewing Company?
Yeah, we're thinking about business. We want to be, Jasper's going to rebuild and Jasper's going to move forward. So being the business community needs to prepare for that as well. Being a world-renowned tourist destination, we want to be able to welcome people back as quickly and safely as possible. For us, we know that the building has damage. We haven't been able to get in and get an assessment yet of what that looks like, but we do have another restaurant that was set to open the day after we got evacuated at Melnyk Range Distilling. So hopefully that building is not too much damage. We can get that one up and running very quickly, because there's going to be people in town that are going to need support for meals and contractors, and rebuilding Jasper is going to be a big task. So there will be people in and out of the community. So we want to be there to support them in any way we can as a place for them to go eat as well.
You're mentioning tourists. It's such a much loved place among so many Canadians. You know, so many people pass through there every year, but the actual community is quite small, right? I mean, the year-round population, I was looking it up today, it's about what, 5,000 people. So I imagine it's a pretty close-knit place. You know, what are you going to do? Are you going to band together to try and rebuild? Like, what are you hearing from family and friends about trying to restore this special place?
Yeah, I haven't really heard too many people say they're moving or giving up on Jasper, so I think that's one piece. And Mayor Ireland's been a testament of just strength and what he's gone through. I think he's done an amazing job as our mayor, and he'll be, I think, the best person to lead us forward and rebuild Jasper. And I know lots of people are talking about, you know, families moving in with other families, or families taking in grandparents, or vice versa, the grandparents taking in families, to be able to move forward as a community and rebuild. And that's all we can do. So,
well, Justin, thank you for coming on. I hope people at home remember that name, Jasper Brewing Company. The next time you're in that area, folks, you should visit that spot, because the community is going to need help from tourists when it's safe to return. Thank you again, Justin. I appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Federal ministers gave an update today on the 2024 wildfire forecast so far and what provinces can expect in the coming months.
Nationally to date, there are now 474 active wildfires burning. Over 3.4 million hectares have burned so far. This is about an average for our fire season, but of course the season is not over yet.
It is not unusual for Western Canada to see high levels of fire activity this time of year. However, forecasting anticipates that activity will be above average in parts of the West to well above average in areas in BC and Alberta.
Ministers also reminded residents in at-risk areas to take measures to mitigate fire concerns and to have go bags ready in case of an emergency.